Good morning, televiewers, and welcome to this other edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television, a program where we get to dig several layers beneath the major headlines as relayed by the newspapers in the country. Most of the newspapers are focusing this morning on the incident in Buea yesterday, where it was reported that security officials opened fire at a secret society in Buea. We shall be telling you more the reaction of the local population as they took to the streets, and the corpse of the said man that was shot dead was seized by the military, and the population were blocked from protesting or going to right up to the governor's office. We shall be telling you more, and equally the atmosphere in the northwest region of the country after controversial reports or calls for a school boycott in that part of the country. Today, many schools in that part of the country witness or saw parents keeping their kids back home for the fear of the unknown. We shall be telling you more on that as in course of the program. Let's go find out what the French newspapers gather for us this morning with Bomotonguina. Gwladys. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha, bonjour à vous qui nous regardez et merci de nous retrouver pour deux briefs, votre émission de revue de presse bilingue sur Ma Media Prime Télévision. Alors ce matin, nous allons débuter avec le journal Le Jour qui parle en grand titre de la requête des candidats recalés à l'ENAM. Une requête adressée bien sûr au chef de l'État, son Excellence Paul Biya. Ces derniers dénoncent donc ici une injustice dans la sélection. Les détails sont donc en page 2 et 3 de ce journal. En page 4 et 5, le journal parle du changement climatique au Cameroun. Le ministre des Forêts fait le bilan de la COP 26. Nous continuons ce matin avec l'économie quotidienne qui parle de la crypto-monnaie. Le Cameroun veut réguler ce secteur. En effet, le journal rapporte que les acteurs du domaine étaient donc en conclave hier, 15 novembre 2021 à Yaoundé, sous la présidence de Minette Libom Lilikeng, ministre des Postes et Télécommunications. Les détails sont donc en page 3 de ce journal. En page 5, le journal parle de la décentralisation au Cameroun, le FECOM qui inaugure sa 7e agence régionale dans le sud. Nous poursuivons ce matin avec le journal Vision économique qui parle du budget 2022, une augmentation de 5% axée sur la poursuite de l'optimisation des recettes. Comparativement à la loi de finances 2021, les grandes lignes du budget en cours adossées sur une reprise de l'activité économique en 2022. Les détails sont donc en page 6 de ce journal. Alors, nous terminons ce matin avec le journal Mutation qui parle des lions indomptables. Le journal demande donc aux joueurs de nous faire rêver en parlant en effet pour espérer se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde 2022. Le Cameroun doit vaincre la Côte d'Ivoire ce soir à Japoma après la défaite à Abidjan. Les détails sont donc en page 15 de ce journal. En page 5, le journal Mutation nous parle d'une explosion dans une école à Yaoundé. C'est ici que nous nous arrêtons pour cette revue de presse en langue française. Place à la découverte de ces journaux en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha.
Thank you, Bomotonguina. Gwladys, let's kickstart this morning with the Eden newspaper. The Eden is revisiting the sad incidents which happened in Bamenda on Friday. The paper this morning writes that Bamenda, Friday, 12 November, was done black, bloody, red, and at least three killed in the chief town of the northwest region of the country. And Governor Lele says separatists detained, or the security officer that perpetrated the act has been detained, and the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Barngangeli, has revealed the name of the said officer who shot dead the 7-year-old pupil in the northwest region of the country. We take you to this other headline that has to do with COP26 that has reached a consensus on key actions to address climate change. On to the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post this morning is focusing on the sad incident in Boya yesterday. One killed, another injured as military allegedly opens fire on secret society. Soldiers block irate population from parading with cops, and equally survivor narrates tear-provoking encounter with the soldiers as Pierre buried in a strict respect of the Nganya norms or Nganya tradition, as we are told. And at least 1,000 children, youth in Cameroon affected by type 1 diabetes. This was according to a report published recently by medics in the country. And equally in the Guardian Post newspaper, Cameroonian highest African country, or Cameroon highest African country with volunteers in the United Nations system. The revelation was made recently by the executive coordinator of the United Nations volunteer programs, Toli Cordono, and he has disclosed that Cameroon is the highest African country with international volunteers in the United Nations system, and the third in the world after France and India. More details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post is also telling us that despite pressure of FIFA and the CAF to convince Etofis not to run for the presidency of Fecafoot, the former Indomitable Lions captain Samuel Eto'o has decided to go ahead with his move to run for the presidency of Fecafoot. More details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Breaking news is interested in the jail term of 104 years jail term for Emmanuel Lebo, owner of 2,601 fake salary accounts. The former civil servant or top civil servant working with the Ministry of Finance of Cameroon is reported to have been slammed 104 years jail term for faking over 2,601 salary accounts for over 10 years. Money he received for over 10 years, the 2,601 fake salary accounts he used, or he was receiving money for over 10 years with the use of these fake salary accounts. And on to Emergence. Emergence is interested in the number of persons displaced within 1 month in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country. Over 4,000, according to United Nations report, over 4,000 Cameroonians were displaced within 1 month from the 2 English-speaking regions of the country. These Cameroonians who are fleeing violence from or in their respective communities are said to have moved to other regions of the country to seek for refuge. Thank you for watching televiewers. We are back in the studio and we are going straight to US to meet Dr. Nicholas Santos, who is a peace crusader. He's joining us this morning. Good morning once again, Doctor, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha Kingsley. Good morning, viewers of My Media Prime. It's a pleasure again joining from the United States of America to talk about peace.
All right. We are having disturbing reports coming from the Northwest that most schools are not really functional to capacity this morning as a result of calls coming from a faction of the separatist fighters. Those based abroad calling for school boycott. Parents decided to keep their kids back home this morning for the fear of the unknown. What do you have to say to this?
Yeah, Mr. Lasha Kingsley, I pray that you give me some time to expatiate on this, because today I'm fully prepared to give to the audience what are the obstacles to the peace that we had, or the peace move that took place in Toronto, Canada, and then out of a sudden we are having a backlash of the process, whereby we had gone like 2 steps forward, then we are back to 0, minus, or even minus 1 step behind. Let me bring to the viewers' attention, or to the population, that there are many factors that have been affecting our Humanity Peace Task Force initiative and the Peace Patriots capacity building mission for the past days, which have been the following: the killing of a child in Bamenda, the invasion of Shishong Hospital and the brutalization of security guards as well as the nurses, a bomb that exploded in the university that injured 11 with some casualties, the killing of the Nganya member of Bakoreland and the secret society of Nganya, the killing of a child in Boya, and the bombs in taxi cabs in Boya. So the question we should be asking ourselves is that, why are there these obstacles to peace that we are all seeking to achieve? On the government and military side, the responsibility is that, you see, there are many people benefiting from this war. In the military is benefiting from contracts like supply of food, canned beef, meat, fish, milk, juice, vitamins, medicine, painkillers, tablets. Military wears socks, boots, raincoats, bulletproofs, armored cars, Toyota Hilux, weapons, ammunition, etc. Those who are benefiting from an artificial post like the DDR chairman and huge budget wasted for rehabilitation, etc. Money meant for bereavement or bereaved families that are embezzled, pensions for bereaved families that are embezzled, budget to take care of families whose husbands or wife died in active duty. Also, the Amber people are benefiting because most of the leaders, thieves, have hijacked the movement. Some are scammers abroad. They are drafting and paying their mortgages and also buying new cars, buying new houses in Europe, Canada, and Asia from monies from kidnapping, ransom, changing of their wardrobes with different clothes, racketeering, sleeping in nightclubs, etc., and chasing women. All these are the juicy aspects that they are benefiting from this war, that they don't want peace to return. And so we have to really call for a solution, because the only way for us to arrive at a lasting solution to this problem is to call Ayabacho, call Sako, and Seseko to end this war. These are the three important people who have to end this war. You must have seen that they have called for a shutdown in the Northwest province or the Northwest and Southwest regions because they did not go to Toronto. They never went to Toronto. They believe that everybody should align behind them, the Sako and the Chris Anu camp. They believe that people should align behind them, because if you don't align behind them, it means that they have been relegated to the background. And they came out in alliance because of the factors I've listed, like the killing of the child in Bamenda, the invasion of Shishong Hospital, the bomb at the university, the killing of a Nganya member of the secret society, the killing in Boya of a child, and the bombs in taxis. They came out also because they did not go to Toronto. They came out to prove that they are a force to reckon with. So anything that was discussed in Toronto, without these two people, they want to prove to the world that they can take decisions and control everybody on the ground.
So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? How do we manage these people who don't want peace to return to the two English-speaking regions?
I have said it, that the solution to this problem, there are three main people that have to come together. The government has to reach out to these people.
So if they refuse like they did for the Canadian peace talks, what is the next step?
If they refuse and the government also is doing nothing, then we are out on a long-run suicide or homicide, whereby everybody will die at the end of this game. Because to be candid, there is no other way of ending this. And there is a shortcut to independence. The shortcut to independence is that we already have existing structures of decentralization on which we could build on that to become a 10 federated independent states, which is a good start for regionalism. We can build on that and have a 10 decentralized or 10 federated states. Okay. And from there we can choose, because the government was saying that they have gone somewhere and the separatists have not gone anywhere. But I believe that if they reach out to them, we can find a solution to this.
Okay, I'll be coming back to you shortly. Gwladys, we equally have Christain Moussima, who is equally with us in the studio. He's an active member of the PCR and political party. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Thank you.
Alors, effectivement, on a suivi le docteur parler tout à l'heure. On a l'impression à écouter, c'est dire que le Cameroun, bien la situation de paix au Cameroun est entre les mains de deux individus.
Il a parlé de Cho Ayaba et Samuel Sako.
Je ne dirais
Sako
pas
est comme Samuel Cho Ayaba Sako est comme Samuel Cho Ayaba and Seseko Julius Ayoktabe. Three people have to end this war.
Okay.
With the government.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, right.
Je ne dirais pas que la situation de paix est entre les mains de ces personnes, mais je dirais que la situation de paix est entre les mains de tous les Camerounais lambda. Parce que, voyez-vous, lorsque un côté du pays est paralysé avec des mêmes problèmes qui surgissent dans d'autres
Mais
régions.
les Camerounais attendent quoi depuis
Voilà.
5 ans? Ils attendent quoi depuis 5 ans pour prendre leur destin en main? C'est ce qu'on demande ce matin.
Oui, les Camerounais, il faut dire que certains Camerounais sont parfois emportés par le fait de voir la situation se dégrader parce que le politique ne veut pas répondre à leurs attentes.
Donc, en
Nous
définitive,
avions-
on est bien parti pour une destruction
Du pays, de la nation.
de la nation.
Je ne peux pas dire qu'on est bien parti pour la destruction de la nation, surtout que le PCN est en train de penser comment le Cameroun de demain doit être.
On n'est pas au
Après-
niveau de pensée, on est au niveau des actions à ce moment.
Ce
Qu'est-ce
moment,
qu'il faut
on
faire?
pense encore avant
Qu'est-ce
de
qu'il faut faire?
Je ne veux plus entrer dans les actions parce que le
Ok.
grand dialogue a déjà parlé à ce problème. Le grand dialogue a mis à table tous les problèmes de résolution de la crise anglophone, qui n'est même pas seulement la crise
Pourquoi on
anglophone,
est
mais
à
qui est
ce
au
niveau? Why are
problème
we
de
where
tous.
we are today? Nothing is moving. The killings
Il n'y a rien qui
continue.
bouge.
The killings continue.
C'est pourquoi nous allons donc accuser l'État qui s'entête à ne pas résoudre ce problème.
Mais on voit ici des individus qui ont décidé que l'école ne doit pas se faire aujourd'hui et les populations ont été forcées d'accepter. Donc au jour d'aujourd'hui, on se pose la question de savoir est-ce que ce sont ces gars qui dirigent le pays ou bien cette partie du pays ou c'est encore le gouvernement camerounais?
C'est le gouvernement camerounais, tout compte fait,
Ok.
c'est le gouvernement camerounais qui dirige ce pays. Mais seulement, il y a des acteurs de ce côté qui ont aussi leurs revendications, en fait, qui sont des porte-étendards de la revendication de ceux du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest. Alors pour ça, lorsqu'on a été dans ce grand dialogue, il a fallu que toutes ces différentes personnes-là soient à table pour que effectivement il y ait consensus et que le problème anglophone finisse une bonne fois pour tous. Surtout que je continue à le dire, ce n'est pas une histoire de crise des anglophones. C'est une histoire qui nous est commune tous ensemble parce que la même revendication que le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest peut avoir, c'est cette même revendication que tous les autres 9 régions ont. Donc, le pouvoir en place a le devoir de faire asseoir tous ces enfants et de résoudre ce problème-là qui perdure déjà et qui
Mais
ne fait que
parfois,
tuer
qu'on
des-
appelle les enfants, là, ne viennent pas. Certains ne viennent pas.
Non, vous ne pouvez pas dire qu'on ne vient pas
Est-ce
surtout
que le lieu pose
le lieu-
un problème?
Effectivement, le lieu peut causer un problème. Je pense que l'État reste encore dans son orgueil à penser que comme c'est lui qui est le maître du jeu, c'est à lui de donner le lieu où nous devions résoudre ou bien nous devions causer. Pendant ce temps, eux, ils sont en train de dire, n'oubliez pas que
Mais est-ce que
se
pour
déplacer
aller causer
du
comment on va
nord-ouest et du
partager
sud,
le Cameroun ou causer comment on
Résoudre
va
le
on va
avancer le Cameroun?
comment
Mais certains
causer
pensent que
de
c'est
comment
parce
on va
que-
encore reconsolider les liens de tous les Camerounais parce qu'il n'est pas question ici, il faudrait qu'on le dise, de diviser le Cameroun et d'avoir dans un Cameroun 1000 États.
Ok.
Il est question de consolider les liens que nous avions appelés ici là fédéralisme communautaire qui permet à ce que tous les enfants du nord au sud, de l'est à l'ouest puissent être ensemble tout en recommençant avec la division administrative qui a été divisée par les colons à cause de la
I'll be
politique
coming
qu'ils
back to
voulaient
you.
faire soi.
Doctor, do you think, like many other Cameroonians, that the international community is a major problem or headache to Cameroon?
Mr. Lasha Kinley, to be honest with you, this is a Cameroonian problem that will be solved in Cameroon. Even if the international community is coming in to supervise how we move smoothly to creating peace, dialogue, and negotiation to end this problem. They are not coming to dictate to us. What we know is our country and decisions that concern our country. This problem is simple. It's not an issue of rigmaroling. Our head of state, Paul Biya, should call 3 people. Pick up his telephone, call Ayabacho, call Siseko, and call Ayabacho, Siseko, and Sako Ikomi
No,
somewhere.
Siseko-
The 4 of them can put an end to this matter. This matter is a Cameroonian problem that can be resolved within Cameroon.
Sisiko Ayutabe is right there at Kondengi, not far from the Unity Palace.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This issue began with the Agwabalas right up to him, and it has moved to Sako and Ayabacho and the others. Even
I
Yerima and
asked
the
you
others.
that
But
question
this
because
is-
I asked you that question because most of the violence and the disorder we see in the Northwest and Southwest, the others come from Belgium, United States of America, South Africa, and these people
These are-
continue to harbor those causing the chaos.
what is happening is that the people in the diaspora are not the voices in the bushes. The people in the diaspora are only coordinating, and they are coordinating because the leadership of the rebellion or the leadership of the revolution shifted to the diaspora. And those in the diaspora, some of the leaders also who escaped to the diaspora, like you have the members of the consortium, they are all over here. And they have co-opted other members and continued the struggle. So the point is that the people on the ground are very bitter. And then if you see the fighting on the ground, like imagine those who have been armed, those arms did not come from elsewhere. These are arms of people, military officials that are being killed, and the arms are taken away from them and used in continuation of the fight. There will come a time, if we are not careful, there will come a time that you will see that the diaspora is even insignificant. Because at this point in time, we are even skeptical that if all these leaders meet even with the Cameroonian leadership to resolve this problem,
why are those that you call voices in the bushes not, I mean, resisting the orders coming from Sako and the rest? Like, for example, this morning, many people did not go to school. Parents decided to keep their kids home as a result of that.
I've mentioned to you that in this particular conflict, there are opportunists. Armed robbers are also in the bushes. You should know that. There are some who do not take orders from those who are giving it in the diaspora as well. And then you see the benefits that they have been reaping from all these things, as I've listed the benefits to you. They find it very hard and difficult to leave this thing.
Okay.
So you should know that.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for coming. Hope to have you some other time. We are back in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too for coming, Christian. Thank you for coming.
Moi qui vous dis merci. Mais je veux juste te rappeler ici que s'il fallait parler du problème anglophone, il faudrait que nous revenions en 1961. À 1961.
On va encore rentrer derrière.
Oui, parce que c'est de ce côté-là que nous devions reprendre les problèmes qui aujourd'hui rejaillissent.
Mais les Camerounais ont décidé, non? Ils ont décidé depuis 1961, là.
Est-ce que c'est tous les Camerounais qui ont décidé? Celui-là qui était représenté au Cameroun occidental et celui-là qui était représenté au Cameroun oriental, est-ce que ces deux-là, on peut trouver une solution qui a été posée par l'ONU? Non. Et nous ne pouvions pas dire ici là qu'il faudrait encore qu'on repartage notre pays parce que s'il faille le faire, il faudrait qu'un mètre seulement, 1 centime du territoire camerounais ne soit touché. Que ceux qui ont besoin de la division aillent suivre ces 30% qui ont décidé de se rattacher au Nigeria et qu'ils aillent rester là-bas. Parce que le centime du Cameroun,
c'est pour partager le Cameroun, non? Que le Cameroun devienne tout...
Il y a eu un consensus qui a été à ce temps-là. Et voyez-vous qu'on parle de 30 et 70% des personnes qui ont décidé d'aller de l'autre côté, des autres qui ont décidé de se rattacher. Voyez-vous cette union, cet amour qui a voulu que 70% de Camerounais de ce côté-là acceptent de venir s'allier aux autres. C'est quelque chose de très fort historique qu'il ne faudrait pas que nous divisions aujourd'hui encore. Parce que regardez-vous, au nord-ouest et au sud-ouest, il n'y a rien que peut-être, je peux dire, un seul département qui peut-être revendique une chose. Même si les autres le revendiquent, mais ils ne sont pas tous pour la division du Cameroun.
Thank you for coming, Christine. Our time is up. Thank you to televiewers for taking our time to watch this edition of the program, which was produced for us by Christain Tebong. We were Bomotonguina, Gwladys, and myself, Lasha. Tomorrow is another day. Bye-bye.